Whether you're looking for a free trial or you've recently purchased the lifetime version of the Predator, this video is going to help you with some basic getting started tips for the Predator X order entry. Now, to get started, where do we find the trial? Simply click on the link down below to join our Discord. And don't worry, there's no credit card signups to join our Discord. It is completely free. Then once you join our Discord, you simply go down to the trial info room and you just need to download the latest zip file that is posted in this room. And also make sure you guys read the latest post as well. It will usually contain the links for the user guide or any common troubleshooting tips you may encounter as well. And click on the file to download it. And if you purchased already and are looking for the latest LT or lifetime version, all you have to do is go to TradeSaber.com. Make sure you guys log into your account. Once you're logged in, click on My Account, and you will find the latest version and your license key under License and Download. Again, make sure you guys read all of these tips carefully, and here you can always find the latest version for the Predator. All right, importing the Predator. These steps are going to be very similar whether you're on the trial or are using the lifetime version. So the first thing you want to make sure when you're importing is to remove any previous version you might have. So to do that, we go to Tools, remove NinjaScript Assembly. If you're on the trial, you will just see Predator X order entry and the version number. If you're a lifetime member, you will see the LT version and a lead licenser. Make sure you select both of these and remove them. Keep in mind, if you're upgrading from a trial to a lifetime, these two files are completely separate from each other. Even though the functions are the same, these files are considered separate. So once they are removed, to import the latest version, we go to our NinjaTrader control panel, Tools, Import, NinjaScript add-on, and we select the latest downloaded version. In this case, this is this one. We select the entire zip folder. You don't have to extract anything, just select the entire folder and you will see this message that it was successfully imported. Once that is done, this is very important. We have to make sure we shut down NinjaTrader and we restart it. This will help ensure everything is refreshed. After restarting it, once you load it, under 29 TradeSaber, you should see the latest version number and the date. So if you see the version you just imported, that means everything is okay. We can move on to the next step. Now I'm going to show you how to actually load the Predator. All right, let's go over the proper way to load the Predator on your chart. When we first start up NinjaTrader, we must make sure we clear all previous strategies from any previous session. So what I mean by that is we go down to our control panel and click on the Strategies tab. Any strategy that is left over from a previous session, we must make sure we either right-click and remove or just click it and hit your delete button. We must make sure we always start our session with a brand new strategy. This is going to ensure that our strategies are fresh and everything is always working properly. And if you notice that anytime you start up NinjaTrader, you see a whole list of strategies in this tab, you could always delete them all, go to your workspace, and just save that workspace. They should be gone by the next time you load up NinjaTrader. Now, to actually load the Predator, one thing we must never do is right-click on your control panel, go to New Strategy, and select our strategy from here. This is going to give you an error and it's not going to work. This is not the way to load the Predator. Because the Predator generates buttons, we must make sure we right-click on the chart, go to Strategies, we click on the Predator folder, and whether we're using the lifetime or the trial version, it doesn't matter. We load it this same way. Just make sure it's in your configured section. Once it's down here, we can just configure all of our settings, hit apply, OK. Then we go down to our control panel in the Strategies tab. You hit that enable button, and then the Predator will generate all of our buttons on the Chart Trader panel. If you don't see the Chart Trader panel, make sure you go up here to the little flag. If this is off, you might not see that, so make sure you click on it and have the chart trader exposed. and you will see all of these buttons. The only other thing I get asked a lot when loading the Predator is, what is this data loading requires price movement? And that just means we need some sort of a price movement once all of the buttons are generated, and this is going to make sure everything is loaded properly and calculating as it should. So for this example, because we are on playback and we're currently paused, there's no price movement, so it's just going to stay like that. But once I actually hit play and there's some sort of a price movement, this box will switch to your P&L, and that will tell you everything is working fine. If you're trading in a live account and the market is currently closed, that's never going to switch to your P&L. It needs that price movement. You'll still be able to backtest with it and do other functions, but just make sure if you see that data loading, it needs some sort of a price movement. So wait until the market opens, or if it's after hours and the market's moving very slow, it might take a little while to load everything properly. So that's all it is. It just needs a price movement. All right, now that we have everything loaded, that brings me to the next part. And this is something I get asked a lot by a lot of the newer members, is I loaded the Predator and I have it running. It's not doing anything. It's not taking any trades. What's happening? What am I doing wrong? Well, it's important to remember that the Predator is an order entry and management tool. Its purpose is to help users either semi or fully automate their trading. The Predator is meant to be customized by the user for their own strategy and their own trading plan. This video right here will explain the different ways we can use the Predator. But for a quick summary, you can use the Predator to either enter manual orders using these buttons up here, or if you've seen one of my other videos where you want an automatic entry, we will have to go into the Predator properties and we scroll down to our O2B auto entry section. And this is where we can select any sort of auto entry we want to submit. And make sure you guys check out the Predator guide. Link is going to be down below. I have videos on how all of these work and how they can be configured to your needs. But again, as a quick example, you can just either select your reversal, engulf, bars in a row. But again, you guys can simply select any sort of auto entry that you want. So in this example, I'm just going to show a quick MA crossover. It's going to automatically show the options for that auto entry. So here we can simply just customize our moving averages exactly how you want them. I'm just going to leave it like that. Make sure we enter at the MA cross. And then we're going to come down to our O4 order management. This is where we customize all of our orders. So your position size, where you want your stop set, any automatic break-even trail stops, or even multiple profit targets, all of that can be done in this section. So again, I have another video right here. It goes into this into a lot more detail because there is a lot we can customize. But again, I'm just showing a quick example to help us get started. So let's just enable it. And once it's enabled, you're going to see on the top right-hand corner, you'll see the type of auto entry we selected. If it's in white, that means we are currently looking for a trade. If we click on it and it switches to transparent, that means we are no longer looking for that trade and it's not going to enter if it detects that condition. So again, just make sure it's in white. So as soon as that crossover condition happens, it's going to submit your order. So we'll click play here and see if we get an MA crossover. So that's your blue line crossing your yellow. And that's how the auto entries work. We just have to customize that inside the Predator properties. And yes, we also have a lot more customization within the properties as well. So you can set any time limits that you want. If you have a profit P&L limit or want to set a kill switch so it stops trading as soon as a P&L is reached, you can do that as well. And a trade spread direction, all of that can be configured right within the properties. Again, make sure you guys check out the Predator guide. All of those videos can be found in there. All right, for the next part, we are switching to a live connection. So we're just disconnecting from the playback, switching to my Rhythmic. And this is something that comes up quite a bit. When we switch between playback and a live account, our enable box is grayed out. We can no longer click on it. And this is true for any strategy with NinjaTrader. In order to load our strategy on either a live account or Playback, again, guys, make sure you clear your previous strategy, and then we're going to reload the strategy. So right click on the chart, strategies, load the predator, hit apply, and now your enable box is going to show up again because now it's linked to the proper connection. So all we have to do is just click on that enable box and it will load the predator. But do we really have to configure the predator every single time we want to load it on a chart? Of course not. There's a way to save your template and quickly load it anytime you want to use it. So in order to do that, let's go back into the properties and we can configure this however we want. So let's just add a couple of things here and we'll change our order, multiple profit targets. That should be okay. And all you have to do to save your template, this can be any configuration that you want, just go down to the lower right hand corner, click on that template, click save, and we're going to name this anything that we want, getting started template. You can save it as default, and anytime you load the predator, those are going to be the settings that are automatically generated. I recommend just saving it under a different name using the left save button. That way, anytime you load the predator, it's just going to be the default settings. But again, that's completely up to you. So we just save, and I'm going to remove this one, and I'm going to load a new predator. So back to strategies, load the predator, make sure it's in the configured, and to do that, we just go to template, load, and we will find our getting started template. When we click on that, it's going to show all of those previous settings that we saved. So that's going to help you load up the predator quickly anytime you start it. And of course, if you ever want to revert back to the default settings and start clean, just go to template, click that reset button, and it's going to remove all your other settings, go back to default. But that's all it is, just a way to save and load templates. All right, now I'm going to cover something that is one of, if not the most common question that I get, and that is when I submit an order. So let me just enter short here. We submit an order, but we do not see the stop or our profit targets. We set our account, but it's just not working. Well, we have to make sure that our account within the predator matches the account on our chart trader panel. So here we have our Apex account selected, but the predator is attached to our Sim 101 account. So if we were to switch this to Sim 101, now we have our stop and our profit targets because this is where they actually got submitted. Now, if you want to submit with a different account, so in this case, I'm just choosing this Apex, then this is true for any strategy within NinjaTrader. We must go into our properties, scroll all the way to the bottom, and under account, it's always going to be set to Sim 101. This is how NinjaTrader does it, is to protect against accidental orders. So we just have to select our account. So Apex 21, then we can enable it. And you will see above your P&L, it should show the account that it is currently enabled on. So now if we enter short, we will see our profit and our stop orders. Again, if we switch to Sim or a different account, it's not going to show anything. Always make sure we have that correct account. For the final point of this video, we're going to go over how to show historical trades. And this is going to let you see the past performance of your strategy. And it's very easy to do that. All we have to do is go into the Predator properties, make sure you have your auto entry selected, your order management, and any additional filters you might want to use. And when everything is ready, just go to your O1 control section. At the bottom, you will see this option called Show Historical Trades. All we have to do is select that. And when we enable our strategy, it's going to show all of the trades your strategy would have taken. So here's the crossover. This is where it entered short, crossover long, and any sort of targets, trail stops, they'll be added in here as well. Now, I want to be very clear about this when it comes to historical backtesting on NinjaTrader. Historical backtesting is not nearly as accurate as it would be if you were trading live. In order to make it a little bit more realistic, I always recommend going into your properties, scrolling down to the bottom, and under historical fill processing, we will change this to high. This is going to take a little bit longer to load, but it's also going to be a little bit more realistic as well. And this is especially true if you're using a chart like NinjaTrader, where standard fill is going to be much different than a high fill resolution. The high fill will make it a little bit more realistic. What I recommend when backtesting your strategy is to simply load it up on a market replay and actually run your strategy. This will take trades much closer to what you would see in a live trading scenario. And this will just help keep your expectations much more realistic. But with that being said, I do get a lot of questions about using the Predator on Strategy Analyzer. So I'm just going to run that really quick here. So again, historical backtesting is a bit limited. I recommend using Market Replay. But if you just want some quick results to see if you should continue testing your strategy, you can just go to New, Strategy Analyzer, and you will get this page. So with Strategy Analyzer, we must select the strategy. So TradeSaber Predator, whether you're on the LT or the trial, just make sure you select the correct one. And with Strategy Analyzer, I recommend sticking to backtest mode. The problem with optimization is that the Predator has a lot of customizable options. It's very easy to create hundreds of thousands of iterations, which can overload a lot of computers. So with that, I do recommend just sticking to backtest mode. It's a little bit safer. Now, from here, you want to set up your strategy however you want. So for this, I'm just going to do an MA cross. Again, just a 9 and a 21. Make sure you select enter at MA cross or enter at any auto entry you selected and set up your order management any way you want. And of course, any additional filters, all of that, the setup process is pretty much the same. But now the most important part, we must make sure the rest of the strategy analyzer is set up so we do not run into issues. You must make sure we have our instrument selected. So MNQ for this example, make sure you select the bar type that you're using. So in this example, just a simple Heikin-Ashi, 5-minute candle. Select the date that you want to backtest. So just to not make this video too long, we will backtest since November to the current date. And again, I recommend changing this to a high fill resolution. And the most important part is, again, go to your control section and make sure you have show historical trades selected. If you do not have this, it's not going to show any results. So just as a recap, we have to have show historical trades. We must select the instrument that we're using. We must select our bar type and the start and end time that we want to show. And of course, make sure you are connected to live data. You have to make sure you're in a connection that can backtest results. So with that being said, let's just hit run. And from here, we can see the results of our strategy. You can also add commissions, anything else that you want to add. You can test more days, really any settings that you want to adjust, just adjust them from here. But again, guys, keep in mind, backtesting is not super accurate. I do recommend running this on a market replay instead or live on a sim, but this should help give you an idea whether you should continue testing your strategy or not. And here I just noticed I put the wrong EMA. So that's all it is. We can just change any parameters we want. We can correct them if we made a mistake or add any sort of extra filters that you want. You guys can play around with this, create your own strategy. But again, guys, historical backtesting on NinjaTrader is not as accurate as actually running it on a playback or live on a sim. So take these results with a grain of salt. You might need quite a bit more backtesting than just strategy analyzer. But again, this should help give you an idea of whether you should continue testing or not. But I think I'm going to cut the video here. If you guys have any other questions, let me know in the comments. Let me know on Discord. But as always, take care. Enjoy.